Hello, good day and welcome to my YouTube channel. It's another day and we have another scholarship open. If you're a new viewer, welcome to Scholarship Home. But if you're a returning subscriber, I'd love to know how your application in pursuit for studies is going. Without further ado, let's go into today's scholarship. The scholarship opportunities at the University of Tasmania in Australia. And there are so many scholarships, however, we'll be considering that of focus. Now run us through it. So you can see that this is the number one climate oriented university globally. So excuse me, this is the number one climate oriented university globally. They're ranked that way. So the scholarship covers allocated is competitive in the first place, so you have to put in a good work. And the scholarship cover a living allowance, tuition fees, relocation allowance, and so many other things. Now, the major scholarships, which is what I'll be considering, is the Australian Government Research Training Program Scholarship and Tasmania Graduate Research Scholarships. Awarded throughout the year to high also. Now, let's check out the two of them. What does it entail? So, we have the Australian Government Research Training Program Scholarships. It is awarded competitively, covers 32,192 Australian dollars. That is at 1st January of this year. Now, the standard durations for the PhD program is 3.5 years with no extension available. So you have to finish your program within 3.5 years, otherwise you forfeit the studies. It is important to be aware that the duration of the scholarship is less than the maximum length of candidature, which is 4 years. Your candidature is 4 years, but your duration of study is 3.5 years. While for master's students, it's 2 years with no extension available. Now, the tuition fees. International students, unless you are awarded tuition fee scholarship has been awarded. International candidates are charged tuition fees for the duration of their studies. But I'll show you where and how you don't need to have provided you get the scholarship, you not need to bother about the tuition fees. And for domestic students too, now you have the relocation allowance of $2,000. You also have eligibility conditions, of which you can read these two documents. I'll leave the link to this page in the description box, so you can open the scholarships and read it and then agree to the terms and conditions of both or either, and then you can put it for your inclusion. Now, you should know that the research training scholarship does not cover costs and fees such as student services and amenities fees. It doesn't cover things like overseas health cover, and it does not cover things like visa cost. These are the candidate's responsibilities. So take note of this. It's a quick disclaimer. Now, to that effect, we look at the Tasmania Graduate Research Scholarship. And these scholarships are available across all research disciplines at the University of Tasmania and is awarded to applicants with demonstrated research ability. So you can see that it's almost the same living allowance of the same amount, standard duration, the same thing, master's program, the same thing. And the student tuition fee waivers, both international and domestic, is the same thing. Relocation allowance is 2,000 Australian dollars as well. Eligibility conditions are also below, just like in the first. And so you have to read the documents and understand, agree to them before you put in an application. Now, you should know that they also have a disclaimer like the Australian government scholarship. And what is their disclaimer? Sorry, pardon me. What is their disclaimer? That visa costs, over health costs, overseas health cover, and student service amenities are your responsibilities. Now, having seen that, there are so many other scholarships down below if you scroll down. However, you should know that it can be ethnicity based, continent based, or specialty based. So you can check it out. If you consider yourself fit for anyone, just read through and check it out, and you are there to go. So let's scroll down. Let me show you something more on this page. Upcoming donor funded scholarships. These ones are upcoming, so if you're looking up forward to any of these in your area of interest, you can just keep checking up back again. Next scheduled offer is in 2025, so you can keep up checking again, and then you can check the scholarship down. Now let's check the key dates available. Applications. All applications have to be completed before 11:59 p.m. at Australia. Now you have the scholarship rounds, which are here. You can see some scholarship are already closed, but they are open to everybody, international and domestic. Some are just open to domestic students. But for this one, September 2025 dates is closed already. November 2028, 2023. This other one is open 1st February 2024, but will be closing 12th April 2024. Although some of the scholarships may close before this date, so you will see somewhat later. Then I will expose you to how to know exactly when it's closed, because this could be very deceptive. And the last one is for domestic applicants only, opening 1st June 2024 and closing 4th August 2024. So I'll be taking you through, and then we'll see how to go about it. So let's see, when you scroll down a bit, let's see how to apply. You can see you need to consider the following expenses when you're putting in for this scholarship: return fees, overseas health costs, general living expenses, and all of that. But there are things that's covered for you, so those ones are and to your advantage. So when you click on to how to apply now, you get to see this. In the how to apply section, you will see the research degrees. Then you can see, before you start, what information should you know. 1, check out that you meet the course entry requirements and English language proficiency. I'll come back to that later. Thoroughly check and all of that. So you can read all of this, and then you review the list of available projects and select one project you wish to apply for. That is to say that there are certain projects that have been approved, and these projects have secured funding opportunities, and so when you put in an application for them, it stands to reason that you have an edge. So provided there is funding for them and you ace your scholarship application, then you are eligible for it and entitled to it once you pass through. So now ensure you allow plenty of time to submit an application. In other words, finish your application early and submit long before the due date. So you carefully consider. So a lot of factors around associated costs with relocating, including accommodation options. Now let's check out the projects and see what projects are available. You can go through the subsequent steps as well. They submit your application and they wait for a response. So these are available projects, and as you can see, the available projects for research degrees. Don't forget that this scholarship opportunities for both masters and PhD, but I'll be focusing on the PhDs. You can check out the master's opportunity, of course. So let's see, what degrees are we looking at? I wouldn't specify the degree, masters of PhD. However, I'll specify citizenship, international students. The scholarship can either be available or guaranteed, but we will not specify that so that we can see all that is available. So we have 97 searches in total, and you can see department by department. So we have accounting department, agriculture, and the list goes on and on and on. So let's check out maybe 2 or 3. I want to keep the video short, so I'll check out perhaps 1. Let me check out agriculture. At the University of Agriculture, you can see we have Tasmania Institute of Agriculture. We have the 3D food printing, but this is closing on February, so it's closed already. But we have this one closing 1st April, 3D printing polarization utilization of food waste. So check it out. You have biological control in apple orchards. So let's check this out and see what we have here. You can read up the whole overview of the research here. You can see that this is a research by masters. It's a master's research now. So the citizenship, you can see the scholarship award. Now it's a 2-year master's program which will determine the quality of foods that can be produced by 3D food printing for adding value food. So you can read it up. You will see the objective, you see the goal, you see the primary supervisor, you see the funding opportunity, you see what relocation allowance, a tuition fee offset covering the cost of tuition fees for up to 4 years domestic applicants only. Now you can read up, you can see all that is available. There are still other funding opportunities. You can check it out if you care for. Applicants must be able to commence studies by 30th of June 2024. So if you're not in this category, you don't need to apply. Now you must have relevant university degree in food sciences and technology, food chemistry, food engineering, or related fields. Now you go ahead and check it out and you see selection criteria is already there. Evidence of effective teamwork and experience than the application procedures. So just check it out. Do as follow. In your application, copy and paste the title of the project from the advertisement into your application. Now you need to obey this instruction, satisfy these requirements. Satisfy these requirements as well, and then apply prior to April 1st. And once you do that, you meet the requirement, you're sure in the league for qualification. So we'll check out I'll check out another, maybe perhaps let me check out geography or health humanities. I'll check out, yeah, let me check out here spatial sciences. I think they have quite a number of opportunity. You can see this one is already closed. The next one, climate adaptation in practice, is closing 1st June. Compound drought is closing 1st April. Machine learning is 1st February. Mitigation of inequality and climate collapse is in 1st June. Post-seismic deformation is closed already. Private land conservation is closed already, but salt marsh restoration ecology is closing 1st June. Shaping university mobilities is closing 1st June. So let's look at shaping university mobility just to show you that there's a quite of spread. This is a PhD degree. You can see it now, and so you expect it. You see the about the research project, all that is required. You see the professor there, then the funding opportunities which is covered also, and you can see eligibility criteria. This work will best suit a domestic candidate. They have a subtle preference or bias, but then that does not stop you from applying. A background in human geography and or planning or design, so you can apply. Additional desired criteria is qualitative research ability, GIS knowledge, design, and community engagement. So if you have all of this, you're a good fit. And then you need to put in your application, adhere to the instruction in number 3, and apply before June the 1st, 2024. Having said that, like I promised earlier, I will consider the language test. So you can go through the research, go through any of the disciplines, and apply to area of your interest. There are in total 220 for both domestic and international students. But for international students only, there are 97. So you can check it out. Dementia research. You can check it out. Education is there. Let's see education. I wouldn't open it or no. Higher education online and blended student engagement. You can see it's closing 1st June. Teacher registration transition, you can see 1st June. Writing practices in Tasmanian schools is closed already. And so you can check it out, and that would be it. So let's check the language requirements. Now, English language requirements, you can see there are important informations. All methods of meeting University of Tasmania English language requirements have a validity period of 2 years, unless involving a country-specific qualification as listed below. So when it is country-specific, there may not be expiration validity to it. So some courses may have higher English language requirements, so take note. And then you see the English language tests that are acceptable is IELTS, TOEFL, Peterson, Cambridge C2, Cambridge C1, Cambridge B2 first. So if you're not having any of this, don't worry. We'll come across what is best for you. Minimum English language. Let's check postgraduate courses with alternative English language requirements. You can see business administration and all of this. Yeah, you can see IELTS, counseling. Don't worry, I'm gonna get over with it. Now, completion of approved English language centers. Don't worry, post-study and qualification outside of Australia. So, post-academic instructions and institutions in Australia. Applicants who have successfully completed a minimum of 12 months of full-time studies undertaken at university institutions in Australia, UK, and all of these will meet the English language requirement for entry into most universities of Tasmania. So these people are exempted, sort of. Now, past academic instruction in programs taught and regulated by higher educations in this also will meet it. Now, secondary or degree studies taught and examined in English outside of Australia. So applicants who have completed any of these will also meet the University of Tasmania English language. And completion of an approved country specific program. So let's check it out. So if you've completed the study, 5 years validity and all of this, you are suitable. You can see it go on and on and on and on and on. Starting with Malaysia there. Now let's say approved list of African countries. You see, we have Ghana, we have Kenya, we have Nigeria, we have South Africa. That's good. At least 5 or 4 countries in Africa is exempted. So you don't have to provide that. So check out each country, your country requirement. Just check out the English language proficiency page. Check out your country requirement and country specific instructions touching the language test. And I believe you'd find one that suits you. But just in case that you don't find any for yourself, that may mean that you would have to write the international English language test. But explore the options first. And if you don't find a waiver for your program, then you may have to go for the other. Now, I hope to hear from you and see you put in your application. And until then, remember, quitting is never an option. And together we can only achieve success. It is my wish to see you come true in your dream. Ta-da!